Hey there, I'm Brendan Peterson, aka the weirdo with the beardo, aka Jesus. Welcome to my first foray into the popular YouTube subgenre of making fun of boomers, like they make fun of us. So let's just jump right in and get to this video by a podcast called the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll Podcast, which has a guest that you might have heard of, Papa Roach. Specifically, two of the members of Papa Roach, including the lead singer, Jacoby. So let's jump right in.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas
Digital Network.
What is up, my fellow addicts? Ralph Sutton, the SDR.
What is up, my fellow addicts?
This week, we have Papa Roach in studio, the singer, Jacoby, and the drummer, Tony, come in the studio. But here's the thing.
Here's the thing, guys. There is a moment on this show, the favorite ever, one of his favorite moments ever. If you don't love it, you are an SJW snowflake that is joke police, fake news, all those things.
Yes, Digital Network, you would have heard this 5 days ago, and you would have been in on the laugh that we put out on Instagram, and it all makes sense when you listen to the show. If you don't have the money and you just want to be a fan, just subscribe on iTunes.
Just like and subscribe the video, comment, bell notification, all that, timely stuff. I'll give them this. I like their intro. And I mean, the concept of their podcast is not bad. Like podcasts about sex, we got Howard Stern. Drugs, we got Joe Rogan. We got rock and roll, we got Anthony Fantano. Those are all great commentators on those subjects.
But you guys like the intro.
That's amazing.
It made me happy right off the bat.
I was about to pop my tits out. Yeah.
Please do.
I mean, why not?
Pull your tits out. See, Jacoby already making a funny joke right away.
I am Ralph Sutton, filling in for Big J because he is away for like most of August, I
Really?
think. Yeah, he's away for a while.
Is he on one of those boat things? Or?
No, he's making L.A. his hometown.
See, I've never watched this before. I'm not really sure who they're talking about.
Back and forth, but he's not going to be in New York for most of the month. So you did you did it last week, and you're here this week.
I did. I insisted on being in for
which
Papa
is great.
Roach.
And then I think it's probably 4 years in we've been trying to get you guys on the
Our
show.
whole touring career is a blur.
dude.
How far are we into this video? Almost 3 minutes. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. And all they had done is jack off their own guests and talk about themselves.
So babe, like I'm just gonna do this podcast. She's like, really? We're like, you're always working and we're on vacation and no way. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. And also,
I'm coming back in a couple weeks, so we'll
I
do
give
it
you
then.
credit because you've been married for like ever.
Yeah,
and so you got to compromise and make that work.
That's
to keep
right,
the marriage
man.
working,
You know, 22 years married.
Jesus
Been
Christ.
trying to get away for years, but she just won't let me leave. No, I'm just kidding. We like to joke about how the reason we've been together for so long and the reason we've stayed married
So
for
far,
long is that
Jacoby's
we
the
never
only
wanted
one
to
that's
get a
made any
divorce
good
at the same
jokes.
Picture?
That's right.
Maybe she can't divorce you because her parents won't sign the consent form.
Making an underage joke right off the bat. What a hilarious boomer.
And somebody wins a T-shirt every month. Shannon, I sent you a new review that somebody won, but I forgot to tell you that ahead of time, so forget it. We'll do it next week. The boys at the SDR Show's a way to email us, and at the SDR Show everywhere. I had a dating story that I wanted to get into, but I'm not going to do it. Why? We don't have a lot of time with Papa
Sealed
Roach today.
documents?
Don't got a lot of time. That's why we're going to go on about pretty much nothing for the first 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Because we don't got a lot of time.
You both don't probably remember this, but how I met both of you originally was when Papa Roach, 6 a.m., and Motley Crue were on tour.
Oh, crew fan.
Oh, Motley Crue. I bet you I know where this story's going.
Story on the tour bus, my old radio show.
Just going to take a wild guess.
But I'm so happy that I can tell it again because it was like the coolest thing in the world. I didn't know you
The coolest thing in the world,
I
guys.
was doing my radio show. We were broadcasting live backstage, and this girl that I was trying to get in her pants so bad.
Oh, you were trying to get in a girl's pants at a Motley Crue show. Seriously, well, I'm shocked.
And was a crazy Papa Roach fan, like super obsessed with Jacoby.
Oh yeah, and she had her son with her, so I made sure to get to her through her son because that's the best way to get some punani.
And he just looks at me. He doesn't know me. He goes, sure, no problem.
That's great.
And I did it, and I
Hey, he's a nice guy. Oh, you fucked that girl. Oh, congratulations. High five. You did the thing that every biological capable male can do. I'm so proud of you.
Yo, PNC.
It is called the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll Podcast. So I have to say, I'm expecting some hard-hitting questions. So far, none, and we're 7 minutes and 20 seconds in, and all they really done is go on and on.
I'll always do the line from Uncle Buck because people be like, "Is that
Uncle
real
Buck.
whiskey?" And I'm like, "What are you, Mother Cabrini? You never touched it." Remember the clown?
Well, Uncle Buck is a funny movie, and you got to be funny somehow, so I can understand why you'd quote it.
When you're 107 like me, but that's
Compared to the other bands that you came up with at the same time,
crazy.
It's like quadruple, if not more, of like a whole different strategy.
Yeah, that's cool, but like basically you're just jacking off your own guess. Like I expected a little bit more hard-hitting questions on the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll podcast, but maybe those are coming still. But I mean, 11 minutes in,
19.
She
Tony,
just turned
take care of
19,
that.
man.
Am I gonna make her go away?
those young girls, they're so hot.
They have your weekly release radar, and then all of a sudden it's like Papa Roach has, and that's
Funny
just
boomer joke.
Great stuff. Listening, like in the old days, it's like, oh, I can't wait to buy that album or go order it online. Now it's like you just change the browser. And you
Back in my day, back in the boomer days, we used to listen to music on
This is so
There is something as an old man that tactile experience of looking at I used to be an album. Then it was
Yeah.
like this.
My dad used to have 3 drinks at breakfast. Boy, could mom take a punch.
Oh, a domestic abuse joke. Wow, what a hilarious boomer. What?
Yeah,
cool.
we did it. We recorded on the steps of some park in Bologna, in Italy.
I was just there. We were there doing research. Yeah. Bologna.
Tony was burying bodies.
getting ready to
while
say
we were
hi.
performing.
Do you have songs like
So far, the Papa Roach guys are funnier than the hosts.
talk about how you work to that song to get it perfect, and once you got there, boom. But they say some songs just hits. They're like.
Hopefully, they get to some interesting questions.
Song like that leads.
Iron Maiden.
Iron
Yeah,
Maiden.
everybody's like, "You ripped off Maiden."
But then you said you're like we don't even listen to them. Then you went back, listened to
Yeah.
them, and got into it. And I love that because this is what goes on in comedy and it goes
Yeah.
on in music. It's like I always find
Papa Roach doesn't listen to Iron Maiden.
these
What a
guys that
shocker.
they aren't prolific. They don't sit there and they're like they have 4 jokes and they're like,
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden. They're not prolific at all.
prolific like you guys.
I mean,
album just came out. And
genius over here.
Did you have any other like stupid or shitty names that it almost became?
Oh, wait for it.
That's a good. That's a good question right there. Did you have any other names besides Papa Roach?
great
Papa
name.
The
Gato.
Dirt Merchants.
I mean, cat, right?
Nude.
That's right.
Papa Gato.
Nude?
Yeah, nude. What was the other one? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Some terrible names.
Yeah.
And then we just thought we landed on Papa Roach, which is amazing.
It is P Roach.
Self-awareness. That's funny.
Halfway. Well, if you want 16 and pregnant to start, we could have failed abortions. To be clear, right? I'm just trying to. I'm trying to. I'm an.
Oh, an abortion joke. Yeah, like, just knocking it out of the park. Just knocking it out of the park with these jokes. These hilarious boomer jokes.
The lighting on this is terrible. Thank God.
I hate to say, like almost like an Imagine Dragons
It's
kind
like,
of vibe.
Yeah, it's total like hip hop. Well, I'd say
Oh yeah, just compare them with Imagine Dragons. That's a great band to be compared with. It's like that's a terrible band.
$1 shipping. If you go to BlueChew.com and use the code SDR, and then you too can enjoy.
It's like the Dollar Shave Club, but for your dick.
Thanks to Blue Chew. Cinderella was on.
Back into it. Hopefully that really funny thing's coming soon. Because I'm getting kind of bored. 31 minutes, 45 seconds.
and it's like
Any woman that has sex with me, same feeling.
yeah, and it's like it's dark in my head, man. So it's and I just have this real broken.
He's
thing.
trying to be serious here, dude, and you're just like,
Realize that
you just gotta make a boomer joke.
Don't you worry, and I hate to interrupt, but that's something comics do all the time. Like comics, some of them don't want to go to therapy because they don't want to get rid of those, cut off those dark edges.
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
think
they
I'll
believe it
ever
helps
get
with
to
their
the.
act.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think.
Yeah, don't you want to keep all your demons?
You're not concerned it'll take like the edge off some of your darker songs.
Nah, man. I think that
Just checking.
Yeah, don't you think that if you stop your depression from killing you, that it's gonna make you suck?
first, because I
sorry,
don't even
I'm
think I
sorry,
told them
honey.
the first.
What's her name? Divorce?
And then we'll do a couple other things. We wrap it up. So hit the first, please, Shanoons.
The first time
Ever you
ever I saw.
This is the intro of some sort of segment of theirs.
All right, we end the show, one of the segments every single week is we ask you about your first experience with all three: sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh,
we start with the first concert you ever saw.
Okay, well, there's some hard-hitting questions. It only took like over half of the interview to get there.
1979.
But hey,
60%.
No, too young.
Okay, well, you're 16. It doesn't matter. I thought you were going to
I
say she was
guess.
40.
No.
She was 12, obviously. She was
No,
12.
no, she was in between that and 16.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. And was it a one-time occurrence?
Yeah.
Were you both virgins?
Yeah.
yeah, that's so funny.
No, I did.
Okay, well, that's responsible.
Yeah, you don't want to get a 13-year-old pregnant.
Oh,
dude, did you get in trouble?
Funny boomer joke.
One of our producers, Nate, was a huge fan of you guys growing up. He grew up on a young guy, big
Here
fan
we go.
of you guys.
I think this is the funniest thing they've had on the show, or one of the funniest things they've ever had on the show. This hilarious show called Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll.
Hey, are we
Shannon,
playing Stoneface?
Am I describing it correctly?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I
Hit
think
your head.
that's accurate.
And it's interpretation.
Yeah, it's an interpretation. It's not a parody, because a parody would be funny, like Amish Paradise, parody of Gangsta Paradise. That's a funny and clever parody. Let's check out what this is.
This is my shaft and balls. Suffocation on penis. Don't give a fuck if I'm covered in semen.
Oh,
Okay, well, I mean, making last resort sexual, I mean,
Cover my life in semen.
not completely unfunny.
Suffocation on penis. Don't give a fuck.
I'm not quite sure it's as clever as they think, but
Penis is bleeding. Would it be right? Would it be right? If I suck a dick tonight, chances are that I might. Masturbation out of sight.
oh my God!
And I'm jacking off a couple guys. Oh my God! Jacking off Phil. Jacking off Mike. With somebody would come in my eyes. Jacking off Phil. Jacking off Mike. With
hilarious boomers, man.
thighs. Oh my God, you are killing it right now.
So edgy, man. The edge, you could just like cut a diamond with that edge, man. He used the term prolapse.
Go on being this gay.
See, he almost laughed. He almost couldn't deliver the line because it's like, you gotta laugh at your own joke. It's freaking hilarious.
Can't go on. No, wait, here.
I'm not sure this is as funny as they think it is what I'm trying to say.
Great talk.
Also, he has a faggoty Australian accent, which is even funnier.
I don't know if it's faggoty, but it's certainly Australian.
No.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, you couldn't tell. That's
And
how
we end
convincing
the show every week with the song of the week we added to the SDR Show playlist, which is thestrshow.com.
Can I do my plug?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy. And then
Tony's our manager.
Just hilarious, you boomers. You guys just you got a command over humor that I can't even comprehend. So yeah, you guys tell me, was that as funny as they seem to think it was? I mean, it wasn't the most unfunny thing I've ever seen. It's just like he said, this is one of the funniest things that's ever been on their show. It's like, does that give you a good impression of their show? The Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll show? Like, I mean, there was maybe 5 decently funny jokes, the majority made by Papa Roach themselves, and there was maybe 5 or so decent questions that got some interesting facts about the band out. So it's like, this is what you call entertainment? Like, I'm just personally not all that impressed. But I mean, good on you guys. do your thing, do what you want, but I'm not quite sure you're as funny as you think. Just gonna throw that out there. Think of it as constructive criticism. And I'm sure people are gonna go like, "Oh, you're the joke police. You're the joke police." It's like they are allowed to make any joke they want, and I'm allowed to think it's funny or not. And that I'd rather watch like Joe Rogan. He's pretty funny. He's pretty hard hitting. Howard Stern, funny, hard hitting. Anthony Fantano, he can be pretty funny and hard hitting. And these guys, well, they're boomers. The Papa Roach, pretty good guest. Running out of good things to say here, but that's about it. So, I guess we'll end the video here. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.